Hello everyone, and welcome to the second installment of my Noob Tactics videos. In this video I'm going to cover the Eddy tactic as well as give a few more pointers about how to use your units at the beginning of the game. The very first thing to do in any battle is to scan the map. This gives you a sense of where you are in relation to where the enemy might be. This map has two deployment zones, forcing me to choose where to place the bulk of my forces. I have decided to place my forces at the bottommost zone. However, to maximize the benefit of the mounted bomber's vision, I will place one in the other zone. The other bomber will be placed in front of the rest of my forces, which will be aligned with the shortest range units up front and the longest in the back. The Arcos sit on the end of the line primarily for aesthetic reasons. Once the battle has begun, the first thing I'm doing is making sure the enemy is not right on top of me. I scout around a bit, but stick close to my army. I want to set up my kill zone before luring them in. Now that I know I have a bit of breathing room, I'm going to spread out a bit. At this level, there isn't much with the kind of splash damage that can wipe out a densely packed force, but it's a good habit to be in. Now that I'm happy with the setup, let me explain the Eddy tactic. This tactic centers on selecting a unit, which I designate Eddy, and sending him out looking for the enemy. When Eddy spots the enemy, he runs back to my army, leading the enemy into the kill zone. The AI really hates mounted bombers, thus they get to be my Eddies. The AI tends to pick the Eddy that is farthest from my troops. Now that they've moved in, I will retreat behind a car to break line of sight and force them to come closer. What I can see must be a pretty sizable chunk of the AI's forces. I'm going to move my other Eddy up and adjust my battle line to better engage the advancing units. Notice how I frequently check the range of the enemy units. At this level, units cannot move without sacrificing an attack, so I intentionally force the enemy to do just that. As expected, the AI is putting a great deal of effort into chasing my bombers. I'm now going to pull the most damaged one back and move the other one up further to engage the lone Savar tank. The rest of my troops will engage the units that have moved into the kill zone. Since most of my army is infantry, the Arcos is a high priority target. Although both units are resistant to bullets, the Arcos is somewhat less so. Thus, I'm directing all of my Arcos and militia fire there first. At this point, I make a small mistake. I should have moved my bazooka units up and taken a shot before pulling them back. Fortunately, this does not end up costing anything but time, as the AI continues to focus almost exclusively on my wounded bomber. Now it's time to really light him up. I put down the lone Savar and start looking around, then focus on the rest in order of danger to my troops. It doesn't take long for everything to die and the battle to end. Well, this concludes Noob Tactics number 2. In the next video, I'll discuss using terrain to your advantage. As before, if you have any questions, post them here or ask in game.